tonight, as you can clearly see, it is the return of All Saints' Wake, the Final Fantasy XIV version of Halloween. And normally this is something that I do with Rika, but I thought to myself, well, the last time there was a special event going on, I allowed Mathia to take the reins on it, and so I also decided that since we're pretty much close to the end of the story of Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, why not let him take All Saints' Wake for once, because I don't think I've ever had him do All Saints' Wake. So for the first time ever, that's exactly what I'm doing this evening, and as you can see, I have him dressed in an outfit not unlike what Rika has worn in the past, the 2015 Witch's outfit, but of course, for men, this outfit is more of a tuxedo rather than a dress and skirt, as it were. So tonight we are going to take on All Saints' Wake, and then we will resume the main story because we are just that close to reaching the end game. So, with that in mind, greetings people of the world, Mathia Griffin back with you for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail live here on Twitch. So, what do you see? We head on out. So it looks like dawn has emerged here in Gridania. And as we can see, many people have come to meet up with the pumpkin-headed apparition who finally is taking over from the Adventurers Guild's representative. Of course, we saw so many years that the people from the Adventurers Guild trying to foil the plans of those who would bring about the Night of Devilry to All Saints' Wake finally were having their services no longer needed, and the pumpkin-headed apparition, the white-headed one, who was always there to foil those plans, was now making herself front and center. So, tonight we will once again take the quest from her this evening, and we will get to celebrate All Saints' Wake together. So, let's go ahead and speak with the pumpkin-headed apparition to take on the level 15 quest for the start of All Saints' Wake 2024, entitled The Aether-Starved Ahriman. The pumpkin-headed apparition is on the lookout for an able adventurer.
It's been more than a few moons since we last met, friend. As it so happens, I have a proposition suited to your talents. Are you prepared to throw caution to the wind and consort with Fiends most foul once again?
Certainly.
Of course you are. But before we get to the heart of the matter, let us reflect upon the history of All Saints' Wake. On this night, do fellow Fiends emerge, took a vault in Kareen, unconcerned with the judgments of those on high. For the halls of the Saints' heavenly abode ring with merriment as the wine flows freely, and no one can be bothered to look down. Thus did God-fearing folk greet this particular sunset with trepidation, daring not to venture from their homes. No longer. Nay, 4 adventurers came and drove out the void scent, restoring safety to the city streets and marking the occasion as one of jubilation. That's all well and good, but what of the poor forsaken fiends? Are they too not deserving of revelry?
Well, as long as it's not devilry.
My wish is to see All Saints' Wake reborn, as a celebration for all, be the ghosts, ghoul, Gridanian, or otherwise. And how do I propose to accomplish this feat? Binding obligations, friend. I've convinced the more sinister sorts to enter into contracts which forbid them from preying upon mortals. In exchange, they are permitted to partake in the festivities. But there's one troubled soul who still seems incapable of getting into the spirit of things. Perhaps you'd be willing to give them a helping hand? Nothing too devilishly difficult, I promise. Before we get started, you want to get a grasp of the particulars by speaking with Papa Gruff.
Yeah, that's our resident creepy clown from the rescheduled 2021 version of All Saints' Wake.
He ought to be performing one of his shows by the entrance to the Great Lone Brewery now go. I shall be watching your performance with great interest.
Yes, indeed. So, one thing I'll point out before I go, yeah, now that I see the pumpkin-headed apparition, it actually makes me think of a picture that I saw earlier today on Instagram. of someone who is a cosplayer who I follow on there, who I've actually met at the various cons I've gone to, by the handle of Lightsheen Moon. She and her friend decided that they were going to actually wear jack-o'-lanterns on their heads and do some pics together, and it was one of the cutest Halloween pictures I've ever seen in my life. So I'll make sure that I post a picture of that to you guys in the video. I hope I remember that I do that. I'd be terrible if I forgot. But yeah, well, I'll make sure in post to post that pic so you guys can see it for yourselves, because it's really cute. So anyway, Pumpkin-headed apparition said to go to the Great Lone Brewery, but it's going to be faster for us to go from this point, from the Mikedo's Amphitheater, rather than use the warp over to the Botanist Guild. So over here is where we find Papa Gruff. And so on this beautiful sunny day in Gridania. Although it pains me so, our humble performance must draw to a close. Let us end things then on a high note. Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you feast on your eyes on the fanatic Philcox and his transformation magics. And so yeah, this is the guy right here, showing the abracadabra move from last year's All Saints Wake. Albeit not all that well. Yeah, your young apprentice still needs to practice.
What was that all about? The clowning and whatnot was the right laugh, but that last bit was bleeding rubbish. Come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah, this little Elazin and his friend head right on off. Well, too bad for you guys. But yeah, your apprentice has some work to do. But in the meantime, yeah, they're just going to change into their true forms in broad daylight right in the middle of Gridania.
Once more you failed to muster up even an ounce of magical prowess. I had the crown in the palm of my hand. We'd have been the toast of the town if not for your blunder.
There you go again, shrieking the same old tune. I've had it up to my eyeball with this farce. Just because you know a few cheap tricks doesn't give you the right to treat me like that. I can't stand the sight of you, let alone the thought of taking the stage with you again. Good riddance. Yeah, someone's scolding their apprentice a little too harshly. Hi there. Long time no see, Papa Gruff. Well, well, fate has conspired for us to cross paths once again. Out with it then. I know you're not here to swap pleasantries. Well, let me tell you why I'm here this year, in place of Rika, a foul fiend failing to get to the Spirit of All Saints' Wake. I wager you speak of Philcox, the fellow who stormed off in a huff. Like most of our ilk, Philcox and I have an insatiable appetite for ether, but, unlike your god of variety void sent who hunt hapless mortals like beasts, we prefer to sate our hunger with their enthusiastic approval. I tell ya, there's no aether as delectable as you'll find in food gifted in genuine appreciation. Which set me to thinking, perhaps preying on mortals was an old-fashioned and misguided approach. Thus did I commit to giving folk the sort of rites that dazzle and delight, winning hearts and minds and in the process no small number of aether-laden delicacies. And what better occasion for such terrifying amusements as All Saints' Wake? The method is catching too. Many void said now seek ether in this manner. Philcox is one such reformed individual. And yet, when I first laid eyes upon him, I sensed promise. But get him in front of a crowd, and you're lucky to get a smattering of half-hearted applause, let alone a few music crumbs. You'd be better off hearing it from the Outerman's mouth, though. He can't have gone far. No, I imagine not. Yeah, I guess you'll go do your own thing. Yeah, maybe he's on his way back over. Alright, so... yeah, on his way back to Mikedo's Amphitheater, I should say. Anyway, let's go find this guy. Who happens to be standing right in front of the entrance to the Conjurer's Guild. Hello there, sir.
Not snivelling whelp of an imp. Magic's this and magic's that. The sheer unbridled shake of it.
Philcox is practically frothing at the mouth, So incensed is he by his treatment at the hands of Papa Gruff. You must soothe him before attempting to start a conversation. So it's gotta be like that, huh? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I keep thinking that the unselect has happened after you've engaged in conversation in such situations, but yeah. Let's go ahead and calm him down. Apologies. I've taken leave of my senses. Your timely intervention is much appreciated. Wait, by the look of you, I'd say you're an adventurer. Let me guess. That pumpkin-headed lady sent you to check up on me, did she? She certainly did. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you my tale. Try as I might, I just can't get the hang of the transformation magics, and without the means to delight the crowds, we're starved for appreciation. I'm an Ahriman, paralyzing prey with this big eye of mine? Not a problem. Turning them to stone with a petrifying glare, a trifling task. Else I can even smell despair and all manner of negative emotions in the people around me. Obviously, paralysis and petrification won't win over an audience, and my metaphorical nose for despair isn't gonna put Aether on the table either. I ought to just tell that pumpkin-headed lady that I'm not cut out for this business. If you're here at her behest, you better come too. Well, maybe we can figure something out for you. So in any event, we're gonna end this quest rather quickly, so we'll head on back over to Mikelo's amphitheater. And we'll see what he has to say. Of course, it's Miss Whitehead who's gonna talk to us first. So later in the morning, yeah, Phil Cox has arrived and airs his grievances.
I gather you had a hand in Phil Cox's decision to lay bare his thoughts and feelings?
Not that it did any good. I'm still stuck at square one, underappreciated and underfed.
Such a curious child. Are you truly so blind as to your own potential?
Oh, really?
No doubt. You have an inkling as to what I speak of. Pray, share your wisdom with Phil Cox.
Sure. So what can I tell him? You can spell dark emotions, use your gift to help those in need, or stamp out any negativity you sense within the common folk. Yeah, let's go with option 1. Well, you'd be hard-pressed to find a void saint who suggests that. I don't see how helping others helps me, but then again, I know little of mortal ways, so perhaps I should heed your advice. Ah, wait, I see the logic in it now. What better way to make use of my talents and knock that pompous proper Gruff right off his pedestal? No, I'm getting ahead of myself. I've no idea where to start.
Perhaps I can lend a hand with a sleight of hand? Hold still.
Yeah, show off your own magical prowess. And suddenly, yeah, perhaps a change of wardrobe and even a kind of a neon purple tie and a pair of fancy devil horns to go with it.
Not only is that get-up guaranteed to turn heads, each and every thread is imbued with a potent magic to aid in your newfound purpose.
Oh ho! You know, I think I can feel it. Maybe this isn't gonna be so tough after all. And he's even got Moogle wings on his back, no less. Probably to make him look more cute. There you are. You know, I had thought to apologize for my harsh words earlier, since our act was my initiative and therefore our success, or lack thereof, was ultimately my responsibility. But I sense that you've been scheming. What makes you say that? It pleases me to inform you, Papa Gruff, that I've found a way to win over mortals on my own terms. With that grin of yours, I find that hard to believe, but since you seem so confident, why don't we have ourselves a contest? Oh? Like, what are you getting at? Whoever garners the most affection and thereby the largest share of ether-rich victuals wins. And to the victor go the spoils of subservience. The loser will be bound to obey their every whim. How does that sound? For temporarily or for eternity? You're on! I hope you're ready to bow and scrape. Yeah, what have I got myself into? And aren't you gonna intervene at all? That mortal epithet is not about one's bark being worse than one's butt comes to mind. Prepare yourself, Philcox. So yeah, it's on. And we just witnessed it. I know I've got this marvelous magic outfit, but I'm still not entirely convinced that I have what it takes to keep Bob and Gruff on my own. Come with me. Just until I get the hang of things, that's all I ask. Okay. I'll agree to that arrangement.
Very well. I shall leave Philcox in your capable hands.
Well, yeah. You can count on me to get this guy doing what he needs to do. So, we'll take 1,440 experience points plus 305 gil. Yeah, now that you're all dressed up in black and purple and bat wings and devil horns and a neon tie, what do you say we put this to good use? Let's go ahead and speak with Philcox again to take on our second All Saints Wake quest at level 15, entitled All Fiends Sated on All Saints Wake. Bono, I am so sorry. After a nudge in the right direction, Philcox is ready to embark on his mission. How about we try and find a troubled soul in need of aid? But let's get out of here first. Alright, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go, and where do you want to find those that you want to help you to win the challenge, as it were? So yeah, let's turn it over by the bridge. Philcox? Oh, and also... Right. Time to look for hope harboring negative feelings. Give me a moment. Are you able to survey? Yeah, he's gonna try and scan the area for ether, maybe like Ashtola does. I don't know if it has anything to do with that pumpkin-headed lady's enchantment, but my powers feel more potent than ever. I've already found someone, and whoever they are, they're awfully flustered. They're the northeast, I think, but I'm not sure where exactly. The roads here can be confusing. Truth be told, this is my first time in the city. I've got a decent sense of direction, but I've yet to grasp the lie of the land. Could I trouble you to lead the way? Sure, I can do that. Our flustered target is northeast of here. I'll be right behind you. And so now, Philcox is now accompanying you. Alright, and yeah, there are places we can engage in conversation, so shall we be on our way then? Yeah, we're gonna take this path up in the direction of Akalu Falls. And yeah, for an Ahriman, you run like a human very well. So, we'll go ahead and bring him over here to discuss Delighted Women. Where is this conversation going? Oh, such glee. They mentioned a clown. I wager they just had the privilege of seeing one of Papa Guff's performances. Oh, those two behind us? Listen, I'll be the first to admit that he's an expert illusionist, and you've only got to look at folk like these ladies to see that he knows how to work a crowd. But I won't be upstaged. I'll prove there's more than one way to win over an audience, by following your timely advice, that is. Given the delight written on their faces, our opponent must have earned himself some sustenance, which means we've no time to lose. Onward! Yeah, as we see, yeah, there are some ladies who have come sporting the All Saints Wake 2015 witches dress and skirt combination. So as we continue northward up towards the residences here in Gridania, let's speak with this flustered fellow.
Oh, gods, where has she gotten to? Ah, this must be the fellow my senses were leading me to. Shall we find out what ails him? Yeah, if you want to, go ahead. You there, what's got you so worked up? Oh, forgive me. There was this poor little girl who had been separated from her mother. I was helping her to look, but she suddenly disappeared. I can't simply abandon her, but then again, I have an urgent personal matter to attend to and I don't know what to do. In that case, why don't I and my associate look for the girl? Then you can see to your affairs without worry. Thank you. She's the young lass dressed in blue. I hope you're able to find her forthwith. So away he goes. He certainly was appreciative, yet here I am empty-handed. Forget the food, we've a lost child to find. I'm impressed you're willing to be able to look for such a thing. Yeah, you're not such a bad guy there, Phil Cox. I'm detecting a despairing presence to the east of here. Odds are, it's the girl, which means I have need of your navigational new once again. Off to you! Yes, indeed, so let's be on our way. Hey there, Bubba, welcome to the stream, glad to have you with us. As you're probably noticing in the chat, there are new rewards for people who will subscribe to my channel, so if you ever want to take advantage while you still can, please do so. You know, you'll see that pop up in Twitch chat that you'll get it briefly that if you make a subscription to a channel, you will get some special rewards to go with it. So let's go and speak with the distressed damsel over here. So yeah, this is definitely a girl in blue. I thought this would be a fun opportunity to accrue some appreciation, but the poor girl is beside herself. She keeps calling out for her mama. Might I enlist your help? Oh, they're gonna work together on this? This must be the lost lass we've been looking for. If you want to earn her thanks, we'll need to reunite her with her mother, wouldn't you say? Yes, indeed we must. Which means we now have a lady to locate. Any suggestions? Yeah. Use your senses to search for someone feeling anxious, or why don't you try coming up with an idea yourself or say nothing? But no, we're trying to help this guy figure things out for himself, so... Yeah, how good are your senses? Ah, you're saying that the mother will be worried about her daughter having gone missing. Brilliant. This is exactly why I hired you to accompany me. Right then. Alright, use your Aether searching skills again. Found her. I don't know which is the bigger boon, having you by my side or this fancy finery. I think I've learned my way around the city more or less. I'll handle this next part on my own. Wait here. I'll be back with the girl's mother in no time. Are you that confident? Alright, away he goes. Now we're just gonna chill out here with Papa Gruff then? And so, later in the day... Yeah, I'm tending to the girl while Papa Gruff's just turning his back and trying to look tough. And completely interested, but eventually... Yeah, a reunion is in order.
12 be praised, you're safe! You have my eternal gratitude. Thanks for finding Mama, mister.
Formerly distressed damsel. Yeah. Yeah, never mind the imposing figure that he cuts. And so away they go. Do you believe me now, Papa Gruff? Sweet, sweet appreciation and all courtesy of my special talent. I can't help but notice that they didn't offer you anything edible by way of thanks. For my part, I've already been rewarded with a tasty morsel. Ah, man. Yeah, still much to learn. That said, the gift of food is far from guaranteed. Indeed, perseverance is key, which is why I find myself performing show after show. I suggest you approach this contest with the same tenacity, Phil Cox.
I'm afraid he's right. Constant effort is key. Luckily, I sensed another troubled soul while I was tracking down the girl's mother. I'll better see what I can do to help. You know, I think I'm ready to go it alone now. Why don't you let our pumpkin-headed benefactor know? I'll come and find you when I'm done. Certainly. And as for you, Gruffy boy, well, I'm afraid my next performance calls. Until we meet again, adventurer. So the boys go their separate ways. And in the meantime, let's head on back over to Mikedo's amphitheater. And then we will await the outcome. So upon returning to the amphitheater, what can I say? Those chocobo heads are really popular these days. But as usual, male rogues are always compensating for something. Let's speak with the apparition to complete the quest.
The adventurer returns and at the precise moment I predicted. I do hope keeping Philcock's company wasn't too taxing. What of his fiend and his endeavors?
You tell me.
You have my thanks. Ah, speak of the devils, here they come.
Dear, oh dear. That turned out to be a damn sight harder than I anticipated. And all I have to show for my travails is a single cookie. To think the first gift I'd receive would prove to be the last. Yeah, and just as the rain rolls in.
Oh, thanks so much, Bubba. Appreciate it.
Curses. I didn't receive so much as a crumb. I suppose this means you win. Very well. I'm yours to command, Papa Gruff.
You admit defeat far too readily, Philcox.
Like, Yeah. Hi, you two.
Hooray! We found you! I wanted to thank you properly for helping me and Mama. I brought you a pumpkin cookie.
Aw, thanks so much. Yeah, you earned it. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get soggy in the rain. Simply scrumptious! Look how enthusiastic he is. Yeah, pumpkin, a little nutmeg, and allspice, and all of a sudden he's just boom! Yeah. Are you ready for a new sensation? New sensation!
I'm glad you like it. Farewell.
Yeah, thanks so much. It was nice to meet you two. Long might still want a piece. A draw then. Still, Philcox, while you've had some assistance along the way, you've nonetheless done yourself proud. To think that I'll live to see the day Papa Gruff sings my praises. Awfully kind of you finally admit that I might have worth. Is that all you desire? My begrudging acceptance? Have you forgotten your reasons for joining the festivities in the first place? Of course I haven't. The good people of Gridania are still in need of more help, and that's where there are common folk in need. There are cookies to be freed and given to me. Well, I guess with that in mind, adventurer, I'd better get going, but before I do, let me say this. I might have found a way to make the most of my talents, but I wouldn't have been able to do so without you and the pumpkin-headed lady. I'm sure we'll run into each other again one of these days. Till then. Yeah, good luck there, Philcox. And off he goes, run it into the rain. Hopefully he doesn't slip and fall. The promise I sensed in Philcox when he and I first met wasn't illusory after all. I should take my leave too. It would be remiss of me to allow him to garner all the glory, to say nothing of the cookies. So yeah, off goes our Resident Evil clown.
I'd say those two fiends ended up having themselves a frightfully fun-filled All Saints Wake, wouldn't you agree? And for your part in this, a fitting reward. I present to you a set of finery as worn by Gridania's most emotionally perceptive Ahriman.
Oh, why thank you. Granted, this won't keep the rain off my head like my fancy hat does.
Perhaps you wonder if your outfit is endowed with the same enchantments? You needn't worry. There was never an enchantment.
Oh, mind games, huh? Yeah, the shocked look on my face.
That little charade was my way of giving Philcox the confidence he so sorely lacked. Although I dare say a measure was unnecessary, given he had you to cheer him on. Before I forget, you are hereby cordially invited to my humble abode for a get-together of sorts. Do drop by, I assure you it will be frightfully entertaining. Anyway, your help is much appreciated. At this rate, my vision of an All Saints Wake for mortals and void sent alike might not be such a distant prospect. Though, I do hope that these shenanigans haven't dulled your enthusiasm for this most occult of occasions.
Certainly not. Yeah, it was good to see you again. And so that will take our 1,440 experience points, 305 gil, plus the set of outfit that Philcox was wearing, known as Knight of Devilry outfit. Which kind of makes sense, but yeah. After 11 long years after their first attempt, the Knight of Devilry actually gets to take place, and it's going to be on me. Now I have access to Sneaky Hollow. This is a place that I've shown off in previous All Saints Wake. It's different from the reskin of Hawk Manor. It's more looking like an actual haunted location, and it's very similar looking to the Black Shroud. And we also earned the achievement, The Little Things in Life. And so... Oh yeah, and there's Papa Gruff. He's gonna chill out over here somewhere. Anyway. Yeah, I need to know where these fancy umbrellas come from. I see them popping all over the place, and they look amazing. Yeah, I do have a few umbrellas of my own, but nothing like this. Now, there's supposed to be a... Ah, here's the vendor! Yes, hello there, young lady. From you, we have not only the magic prism pumpkin heads that we've seen in previous All Saints Wake, but we also now get flying pumpkins that we can put in our house. So, what do you say we take one of these over to the FC home in Gridania? Or, no, not in Gridania, in Shirogane. Yeah, I've turned off the lights in the house. Yeah, I do plan to decorate this place a little more for All Saints Wake, but also for my RP cafe that I have in Mist. So, here's what the flying pumpkin looks like. Yeah, we've seen these hanging around in the All Saints Wake for so many years. In fact, pretty much literally every year. And now at long last, we can finally have our very own.